In an interview with New York Daily News, Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein attacked the political establishment from every which way. She talked about everything from Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump and even President Obama. And what she said, I think, was great. She made a lot of excellent points that I wanted to share. So she states, polls show that the majority of Americans don't support either party. Most Hillary Clinton supporters are backing her to oppose Donald Trump, and most Trump supporters are doing it to oppose Hillary. So what is wrong with this picture? If our voices were actually heard, we would be dominating. As terrifying and dreadful as Donald Trump is, Hillary Clinton is part of the corporatized political system, predatory banks, fossil fuel giants, and war profiteers that created him. Donald Trump is that Frankenstein, but Hillary Clinton is not the antidote. Now, what she's basically saying is that all of the neoliberal policies facilitated by these corporatist Democrats like Hillary Clinton, like President Bill Clinton, it created Donald Trump. It allowed these billionaires to become so powerful that they can effectively buy politicians. Now, it's not quid pro quo, but when you donate to politicians, it does make them more vigorously defend your position. So there's a study from Hall and Wayman who found in the 1990s, actually even before Citizens United, that they'll get a donation and they'll fight more strongly for the rich people who donated to them. Now, additionally, a study from political scientists Dr. Gillens and Page from Princeton University found that just regular non-affluent citizens have a statistically insignificant impact on policy, but elites and special interests, well, they actually do dictate policy and are able to heavily influence legislative outcomes. So all of this has created these monstrous billionaires who are able to just buy our elections. They can decide who wins by donating to candidates in congressional races where nobody pays attention, so whoever has the most ads usually wins. And furthermore, you create these monsters like Donald Trump, where if you have enough money, you can just run for president. It doesn't matter if you're a buffoon or not qualified. You can just run and become the nominee if you have money. So what she's saying is true. Hillary Clinton is partially responsible for creating this system where billionaires can run amok, where they can dominate the political process. There's a reason why we have such high income inequality. It's because billionaires dominate the process. Now, she continues, she went on to criticize President Obama. So she was asked whether or not she thought he was a war criminal. And she said, "Do I think he has violated international law? Good Lord, yes. We have conducted illegal wars. The only legal criteria for war is something that is an imminent threat to the United States, but all these wars are aggressive. The drone wars have been the worst for human rights. It's an illegal assassination program, and worse, it's off target 9 times out of 10. What's really scary to a lot of progressives is that we voted George Bush out of office and elected Barack Obama because he ran on an anti-war platform. He was against the Iraq War, and it was one of the highlights of his campaign. But when he got into office, one of the first things he did was ramp up the drone war, even more than George Bush did. So he started waging these drone wars in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia to a much higher degree than George Bush. And he basically delegated autonomy to the CIA to do what they wanted, and he didn't realize that there was so much civilian casualties that he had to immediately scale them back. And now he scaled it back quite a bit to his credit, but he shouldn't have done it to begin with. All those do is, when you use drone strikes, is you further radicalize people in the region. They're not going to be inclined to say, yes, I'm pro-America after their family was killed because of your drone strikes. That's not the way that this works. So, yes, it is the case that Democrats are not doves like they say they are. They, too, are very hawkish. They may be less hawkish than Republicans, but that doesn't make them morally right. So by railing against the political establishment and holding all parties, or both parties, accountable, Jill Stein has a phenomenal point, and little by little, she is proving that she is really earning my vote. See, if you actually put Jill Stein on a national platform and you make her the Democratic nominee, if you could just appoint her to that position, she would win by a landslide, as would Bernie Sanders, because these policies that she's proposing are incredibly popular. The reason why they're popular is because she's saying things that you can't say. If you cut defense spending by 50%, we'd still have the largest military in the world. And again, she talks about canceling student debt. If you were to poll students and ask, do you want your college debt canceled? Well, they'd have to be an idiot to say, no, of course we want our debt canceled. It's the case that, Congress bailed out Wall Street. So why can't we be bailed out if we're in trouble? If some of us are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, why can't we have the same privileges that the rich, that the elites have? It's because the system is rigged against us, and the aggregate political establishment, that is Democrats and Republicans, are equally culpable in creating this system and creating Frankensteins like Donald Trump. So Jill Stein is awesome. She's excellent, and she really has earned my vote if Bernie Sanders isn't the nominee. Love everything that she's saying.